Hey, everybody, and welcome to 2025. As we enter a new year, Rodney and I reflect on how, over the years, some things have changed and some things have just stayed the same. In this edition of Old Fools Talking Old School. But I think those are the same people, like you said earlier, that see their positions starting to go away because of, like you say, I mean, and I just think about, I was looking at a commercial the other day. I'm like, damn, you look at commercials these days. And when you got people like Shaq and Snoop and all those people doing commercials for these major companies and things, I probably would get a little concerned too, I said, but those to me are the ones that are really, really the ones that are concerned, because they see their positions going away, because their positions have always been sort of the low-hanging fruit anyway. So yeah, I think that's a lot of the cause of that these people have, is that we see our position in this society starting to be degraded, and we don't want that to happen.
That's right. I mean, look at it. It started way before, but before they had a little more control over who was allowed to be the ultra successful. They started letting a couple of us in the door, so now everything has always evolved around sex. They got rid of Bill Cosby's old stupid ass. But they didn't do that until he started trying to buy NBC. You ain't gonna own no network where you can put any voice out there you want. Okay, they're getting rid of Diddy's ass. Well deserved, if all this stuff is true that they're saying. But if he's been doing it, you get it back in 2003 and 4, just like Bill Cosby. What happened to statute of limitation? How can you go back and do all of that? Yeah, you can't put these brothers in jail, but you can't put Trump in jail for all the shit he's been convicted of. It's just I'm just sitting there looking, and it's like, there's a couple other black folks that they do. Now it seems like everybody that come out talking about, I don't know what is, these billionaires just thought they were above the law. They could just sexually exploit everybody. But there's been a few more brothers that they trying to say Jay-Z and Beyonce dabbled in there a little bit. They didn't show some pictures, but these days you can doctor pictures up so much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But they I'm like, and then all them people that was going to his parties after everybody was saying, 50 Cent said, hell no, you got to know when to leave when you go to a Diddy party. When the shenanigans start going on. So a lot of folks knew there's probably going to be some stuff coming out, because they didn't put an all-out war on these brothers.
Yeah, and I know that one lawyer I heard the other day was saying, there's going to be some big names come out.
Yeah.
When all this, when he finally releases all these, I don't know, not indictments or whatever the lawyers do. He said there's going to be some big names. There's probably going to be some surprising names on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them holier than thou.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, I'm blessed, and you out here drugging and sexually molesting young girls and stuff, and boys.
And boys, he's probably TD Jakes was probably, in part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that comes. But I've always said, you get up there to those types of levels, and you're running around with so-called the elite. But there's, like you say, there's always somebody up there saying, okay, he's getting too big.
Yeah.
He's going too far. Time to bring him down. And I think sometimes they're their own worst enemies. I mean, I look at him, I look at R. Kelly, people like that.
R. Kelly,
you gotta realize there's people up there
waiting.
And when you put yourself in those kind of situations, it's just a tough thing. It's hard to beat, when you put yourself in, and then you got these people who have the power coming after you. You're almost in a no-win situation.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
almost in a
then
no-win situation.
you get up there and you start thinking you people you associating with, you know, they getting away with it. This is the same way in the corporate world. They get up there and think they can do what them other folks do. Yeah, they're gonna make an example out of your ass.
Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of it is just what you said. The people you associate with, because seem like those kind of people start to have a bigger and bigger circle. And
Mm-hmm.
as you get that bigger circle, as physics tell you, it gets weaker and weaker the bigger it gets. You're gonna have somebody in that circle that somebody's gonna, they're gonna drop a dime because of something that's going on or something you didn't do or whatever, and then that's where you come crumbling down.
Yeah.
I just don't know why those folks just don't say, "Look, I make tons of money. I've got a little bit of an inner circle. We get together, at the house and we enjoy ourselves and have some drinks and do whatever we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't do that. I mean, I know they got to have a public persona. They got to be out there, that kind of thing. But it seems like they want to get these groups and things with them. And to me, when you start doing stuff like that, that's when you start to come down. Because there's going to be somebody that's going to tell. There's going
Oh
to be
yeah,
somebody that's going to drop a dime on you,
that's for
and
sure.
then that's when your empires start to come down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's I don't know.
But then we so want to be like we and their attention whores too is one of the main things. But I was reading an article about, and I can't remember who it was. It might have been Diddy, but someone was telling him uh, that before he even got busted and all that he was being watched, which he should have known that all along. Like you
Mhm,
said, you
mhm.
done expanded your circle. Somebody's gonna talk,
Yeah.
and but they were at one of his functions, and they were telling him that they're watching you. And he said, there are some undercover people in your party here right now. And of course, I know his head is so big, either he didn't believe it or he thought, well, hell, they can't touch me,
Right. Right.
you know. But they were saying, like, yeah, there's people in here right now that are undercover. And, especially out there in California where he is, that LA police department, hell, they all intermingle in crime. And hell, just like them ones that shot Biggie,
Mhm.
police involvement and you just got to be careful, man, because that's this we living in Big Brother's world right now. Everybody's spying on everybody. You think about it. I don't even pay no attention until I watch one of these shows. All the cameras that's on the streets right there. They got cameras pulling from this corner, from that corner. Then they got, how they sell the public on BS to help them do what they need to do. They sold everybody on Ring cameras now. Everybody's got a camera.
Yes, they do.
So yeah, detectives ain't got to do much work. Can we see your camera? just like just like with the credit card system, just sit back and wait to see where they drew some money out. We know where they are. We ain't got to follow them. We'll find them. We'll catch up. So it's all Big Brother. Ain't no need to talk about civil liberties no more. We ain't got none. And this is coming from a man that sitting here. I got about 6 cameras around my house.
I do too. I do too. Well, yeah. I mean, in fact, they're trying to pass some kind of bill here in Tennessee that will allow the police departments and all to use private citizens' cameras to obtain video when there's crimes and things like that.
Oh, they doing it already here.
Yeah, they got that bill. They got it. They trying to get it passed here to be able to do that. So yeah, it ain't much. There ain't a whole lot you can hide yourself from these days. I
No,
mean, it's just it just ain't. It's just almost impossible to do. And I think just from that fact, if I was somebody that had was in the limelight and stuff, yeah, I would do whatever I needed to do to make sure my brand is taken care of. But these big parties and inviting all these different people that you don't know from Adam, like you say, that I'm sure a lot of them are implanted undercover cops and things. I don't think I got to do that. I mean, yeah, like I say I might have a small inner circle of people that I feel I could trust, but I guess I also look at it, if I got that kind of money, I don't think I need to be doing anything illegal. Why would I want to put myself in a position to be, supposedly, raping underage
Right.
girls and boys and that kind of stuff?
All these
Why would I
fine
want to
women.
do that?
Yeah, all these
Yeah,
fine women around here.
that's what I'm saying.
Don't
Why
make
would
no
you even
sense.
want to do that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess it's just one of those mindsets I would never be in that kind of position or even understand. But it just makes you wonder, why would you want to put yourself in that vulnerable position when you got pretty much everything you need, financially?
Yeah.
Why would you even put yourself in that position? And I saw something the other day. I don't know if it's true. I didn't read the whole story, where they said Biggie's mom, when you mentioned it, Biggie mama said that she constantly told him to be wary of Diddy,
Yeah.
back in the day, because
I saw
it's
that.
sort of interesting. People keep talking about who was taken out and who wasn't during that day. And I remember years ago reading something somewhere where supposedly Diddy was the next one.
Oh,
He was
really?
the next East Coaster to go. Yeah. And he was supposed to be the next one. That was when they sort of said, okay, enough is enough. We need to stop this stuff. But supposedly he was the next guy up that they were going to take out. So, but yeah, I saw that story where supposedly, uh, Biggie's mom said she had warned him about Diddy all the time
He
and all.
like a
So
snake in the grass.
yeah, so you never know. Like I say, yeah, that's well beyond my circles by all means, but it just makes you wonder sometimes, if he had some part in that. But you just never know.
Hey,
You never know.
hey, who's that? Sony had Michael killed, so it's a distinct possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
As they say, wouldn't put it past anybody to do. When, like I say, when you get to those areas, you starting to tread on other people's money. Yeah, they'll take you out.
yeah, buddy.
They'll
Yeah,
take you out.
in a heartbeat. I was
Mm-hmm.
watching something. It was I just kind of flipped through, but it had uh it showed some old film of Michael talking about how Sony didn't expect him to be as astute a businessman as he was. He said, I got in there and I played the game with him. And when I'm leaving, I own half of Sony. And I think he owned most of their library too. And he owed him one more album or something. That's when he's getting ready to go on that last tour.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Mm-hmm.
gonna do that, and that was gonna be it. But hell, they found a way to get him. Made it look like it was him. Cause that propofol, I've had it once. So, but
Yeah, yeah. I've had it a couple of times when I've had to have anesthesia done.
yeah,
The
man,
doctor was telling me, what all they were going to do. I'm like, ain't that the stuff that
yeah.
Mike down? And he's sort of laughing. Yeah, it is, but if you use it right, it's not a problem. But I
Right.
said, well, no, I'm just joking with your stuff. But
Mike
yeah,
Mike needed more, trying to
yeah.
get some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's looking over his shoulder half the time, man. Hell, I didn't know Tito. He had a farm here in Oklahoma, right outside of Tulsa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was on his way back here, hauling a car to his farm down here in what's it? What's the name of that town? I forget what but it's right outside of Tulsa. Yeah.
It
So,
seemed like I do when I was reading about all. Like I was, how it is these days. At least with me, first thing you think, oh yeah, he probably OD'd on something, kind of thing. And I was reading that. First of all, I was thinking, why the hell was he driving himself? You think he'd be in a position where he'd have some kind of chauffeur? But I didn't know the situation where that he was coming down there. But I remember him saying that something about going to Oklahoma.
yeah.
And I'm thinking he's going to Oklahoma for a concert.
No,
And that's why I was saying, well, why was he driving himself to a concert?
yeah. But
so he had a farm down there.
yeah, well, they call it a farm. That's a damn mansion on that something.
Right.
But yeah, he had two of his high school buddies with him though. That's who ended up driving it on here. They drove it the rest of the way after he got sick and died out there.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I was shocked. It's right outside. I don't know why I can't. Boy, this old age is getting to a brother, boy. I can't remember.
You ain't the only one.
So,
you ain't the only one.
But yeah, that shocked me. Oklahoma. I was like, wow, ain't nothing. Why out here? Ain't nothing conducive to the tax laws ain't worth a damn. Well, you'd have been better off in California, I would think.
Yeah. Well, he might have. It might have been a matter of the property value, the land value was a little bit cheaper out there. He could get more bang for his buck.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
That might have been some of it.
That is the case there, right there, because land. Just like that little girl, I try to like her, but try not to have no negative thing. But that Angel Reese, she just goes above and beyond as far as I'm concerned. Going to these damn basketball games with them damn shorts all up in your ass. She just, and her persona is not nice as far as I'm concerned. But they had an article out these last few days. But that's her right. That's what she want to do. Talking about the WNBA don't pay her rent. They showed what her salary was, what she made per month, but the condo that she's living in costs $8,000, and she's bringing home like 73 something. And I'm like, that's your ignorant ass fault.
Going to get an $8,000 condo, right?
Yeah, I'm like, y'all will make a story out of nothing because she done got some endorsements. She's making money otherwise and commercials, but I wouldn't even. Our kids got to grow, and of course, the crowd was talking about living beyond your means, like y'all don't even realize this girl has got money coming in, but it sure didn't sound good.
Yeah. I saw that story. I didn't read the story. I saw the headline, but I didn't read the story. But yeah, but I think sometimes, and I'm sure it's just like a lot of stars at a young age. They do things, and then 20 years later, as they mature, get older, they look back and thinking, sort of, what was I thinking, kind of stuff. I know that kind of stuff happens, and
oh yeah,
you want to sort of create that persona of you're down with the old hood and that kind of thing and all, so yeah, I know they do stuff like that, and they're trying to make a name for themselves and stay in the limelight. So but yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
They had so many come before them to show them the mistakes and the hazards that you can look out for. I mean, come on, man. Why you going? They're like that little girl I was telling you about, went to Mississippi State. She's from Arkansas and got drafted. He said, now I'm just thankful I'll be able to take care of my family. I'm like, no, sweetheart, where you been? For especially for an average player, your salary ain't gonna be about $75,000. You may take care of a family, yours,
right.
but you ain't finna take care of the hood. But it's just amazing. But they just kids.
Yeah, they are, and some of them, as you know, didn't come up in the best environments and things, didn't have those mentors and those family members to sort of show them the way. They struggling themselves, just to make it themselves, and they're hoping you're gonna make it so that hopefully I can get something out of you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I'm pushing you all I can because I'm hoping that there's gonna be something in there for me. So yeah, it makes it tough when you have those kind of scenarios versus, like you said before, when your parents are Calvin Hill, or your parents are Steph Curry, dad, those kind of people. That's a whole different environment when you come up like that versus a lot of these kids who come up, sort of rough with not a
Right.
lot of guidance and things, and some of them, I think they think that's the way the world is, and they look at the old folks as, oh, it ain't like that no more. It ain't like that no more. Well, a lot of that kind of stuff ain't changed a whole lot,
No, it has not.
So, but I understand. They look back at you look back at their environment, their upbringing, and you sort of get an idea of why they act, why they like the way they are.
Oh yeah. Oh, because it's that old hood mantra. Because if I spoke to you one time, you owe me. You got some
Mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I told him, man, keep your head on straight. Oh, thank you for that sound advice from somebody who ain't done it himself.
Right,
You
right.
know? And they love to latch on. When I marvel at them, somebody do something or whatever, get away from that man. He don't never come back around here. Where is he coming back for? Like he got to come to see you? Oh, they don't come around no more. I'm like, man, ain't nobody got time for that. Hell, they ain't got time to be listening to you. Can I put a quarter on a fifth? And
Yeah, yeah.
just all kind of old dumb stuff that you want to get involved. I can't get involved with that.
Yeah. Or, if they do come back, it's like, oh man, he just trying to show off. He come back in his big car, his big fancy
Yeah.
car, and all this gold change, all this Gucci, and all this kind of stuff. He ain't the same person he was when he's back here.
Right.
So a lot of times you get in one of those no-win situations. Like you say, if you don't come back, you forgot all about us. If you do come back, he ain't the way he was when he's back here, man. He got all that money, So
Yeah,
it's sort of a tough situation to put yourself, because like you say, there's always going to be those people, just like the ones who say, Obama didn't do nothing for me. There's
yeah,
always going to be those people
yeah,
wanting a handout. What's in it for me?
yep.
So,
And ain't done,
and ain't done
shit.
nothing. Ain't done nothing. They don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
They don't want to make the effort to do nothing and make their own way. They will always look for a handout. If you don't give it to them, oh man, he ain't like he used to be.
Man, he don't
So,
he don't he don't come back. He don't give back to the
mhm.
community. Well, what did the community give him? If you really want to put it bluntly, I don't owe you because I grew up there. Yeah, I don't owe you because I grew up there and around the corner. Yeah, I knew him back when. Okay, happenstance. You just happen to know me.
Yeah,
So, do I
yeah.
owe you because of that? Man, these folks are
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, that's how they are. That's
Hmm.
exactly how they are. Like I say, it almost puts you in a no-win situation. I know there's probably a lot of sports players and all who feel that way too. They want to, they got people back there. They got moms and aunts and uncles and cousins and people they grew up with and stuff back there. But it's almost like you're almost in a whole different world when you've made it and you've got big contracts, you got TV endorsements and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's hard to go back and sort of be the same old person you were, because you've changed.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
it's like, well, yeah, he ain't the same old guy. Well, no, he is not the same person. And just because you stayed down in that same situation, that ain't what everybody else does.
That's right. And then the same thing, they want to put hood values on everything because you made a little bit of money. Man, he ain't even buy his mama a house. Well, hell, she can't afford to keep the damn lights on it.
Yeah.
I ain't finna take on a whole nother liability right now. If a person wants to do that, get established first. Learn how to use your money. And then if they don't put it into mama's name, which is the shit that gets me the most, I heard a couple of people say it. Oh man, he didn't put it in his name. I said, it's put it in her name. I said, hell, she can't afford it. Hell, if he put it in her name, they gonna take that welfare check she getting. Then he gonna be liable for her whole health care and everything else that come along with that. I mean, we're raising our kids to leave home to be self-sufficient, but we gaining a bunch of lazy ass old folks. I'm like, give me a break. And then if you buy them a house that's commensurate with what they can handle, oh man, he could have done better than that. Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you
Like
know?
I said, and that's what you run into. That's why you, at some point, you just got to say, I got to do what's best for me and
There you
mine,
go.
and filter out all the other static. Because, like
Yeah,
you say, it's always a no-win situation.
it is totally
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and they wanna throw their values on you, Man, I'd have bought my mama a house. Yeah, you know. I mean, look at Russell Wilson. He been in the league how many years? I think he just bought his mom a house. Uh, what was it, last year, year before last, one of them. But hell, he's well established. He got $200 million contract now. You know.
yeah. That that makes a difference. And you don't know all the situations either. I mean, it
Right.
may have been such a situation where his mom may have been doing very well for herself.
Well,
You know,
she was, and it was a total surprise to her. That's just something that he wanted to do.
right,
He
right.
wasn't obligated to do it like these Negroes think you're obligated,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nah, that's just something he got to a point. Like he had been making money all along, so he solidified his portfolio, if you will. And then they gave him another 200 million. He said, oh, I'm gonna buy my mama a house, you know. But she wasn't raising him up to bail her out because she can't keep no man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's situation is different when it comes to things like that. And who was I reading about the other day that I was surprised that it was either their mom or their sister was their agent. He was talking about.
Uh, the brother for the Washington Redskins, ain't his mama? Uh, I think his mama is his agent.
Is that the quarterback, the young guy?
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that's who
yeah.
I can't remember. Maybe that's who it was.
With her
I'm like,
fine,
oh wow, that's
with her fines, yeah.
oh really? So
Yeah,
I I haven't seen her, but I remember reading that story, and I was reading it, and they said something about his contract with the negotiated contract with his. Yeah, I guess it was maybe it was his mom. I can't remember. That's probably who it was, though.
yeah,
Okay,
because
probably who it was.
she's a certified agent now. That's what the story was about. That
Okay, okay, okay.
she got, yeah. Because I saw that, but also, Lamar Jackson's mama is his agent.
Yeah. That's who it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's who it was. That's who it was.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's mama. It does me good because they were talking about, they were basically insinuating she was going to be taken advantage of because she's no lawyer. She don't know this. Hell, he got one of the biggest contracts in the NFL.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's who it was. I think that's who it was. Now that you said that I saw that, I was reading that story about him. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that there's been people have done well. There's been people who
Yeah,
sustained and that kind of stuff. And I hear about the policies and things that that Kamala Harris has talked about with home ownership and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I say to myself, I think all that stuff is good, but it's by no means a panacea,
Right,
because there's some people that they just want to get something. You know,
for
they
sure.
can't manage it. Can't really manage it. They just want to get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those kind of things are good starts for everybody, and not just black people, for everybody. Help
For
you
everybody. But
when.
see, but the main thing about black people is they think whenever somebody does something, that's going to be the cure all. Like they have no investment to do anything to
Mhm.
make this thing work. That's to get you started. But that means you're going to have to be in a job to maintain and supply things for yourself. I just don't get why. Well, I do get why, because Uncle Sam back in the 60s, to keep us out the way from in getting involved in the job market, they gave you welfare and stuff to keep you satisfied,
Mhm.
give you some peanuts. Now some people have gotten a little more, like they want a little more or something, and those who are willing to get out there and work, but you still got a class of people that are just sitting back waiting for somebody to give you something,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
And
still not astute enough to understand. Every time the president change, policies change. They might give it to you this time, but you're gonna lose it the next time.
there ain't no guarantees.
That's right.
There ain't no guarantees. And when they learn to play the game, or, if you have more kids, you get more money. Dude, I'm gonna go have more kids and
all the incentives
you
in
know,
the world.
yeah, unlike like you say, saying you get out, this is just a stepping stone to get you started, and then you move on. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that didn't look at it. They looked like they took it as though this is going to be my world forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem you start to run into is there's going to be a certain portion, and sometimes that's a large portion of people who look at that as, oh yeah, they gave that money to me. Okay, what a year later, what are you doing with the money? Oh man, all that money's gone.
Yeah, man.
What do you got? Do you got a house? Do you got a business? Oh no, man, I had to pay some bills, and and all that money's gone. So yeah, it can be a good thing. I mean, I think I've always felt there has to be almost that balance between a handout and sort of a hand up kind of thing. I mean, I think there's got to be a little bit of a balance between, we want to help you succeed, but we ain't going to, give you all this money and say, go do it. We're going to give you some, but you got to do your part too. Not a handout, but a hand up. That philosophy could be used in a lot of different things in our world today. Well, we hope you enjoyed this edition. Join us next time. Old Fools Talking Old School. Till then, this is Mickey G. Peace.